Hey there, hey, and thank you for tuning into this Thursday pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is another day, another opportunity for you to recognize your star power, and I am drained. I'm so tired. I feel like I need a year off and just a year to sleep in a bed and not do anything. I wonder what it must be like to actually not feel like you're just constantly running in a circle like a hamster. I just feel like I never get any time to do nothing. And the thought of actually having a day off or an opportunity to do nothing feels very vacant and like almost non-existent for me. But outside of that, the fact that I'm tired and I probably need a nap, which I'm probably going to take soon, today is another day and another opportunity for you to recognize your star power. Even though I'm tired, I still put my smile on and I still find the energy and the enthusiasm deep within myself to light up my day and try to be the positive ray of sunshine that I'm supposed to be, just like you're supposed to be listening, right? Today is another day and another opportunity for you to look in the mirror and recognize that you're seeing a reflection of where you've been and where you're going to next on your stardom journey. We should be starting off our days by saying, yes, we can conquer fears. Yes, we can change our minds. Yes, we can do something new. Yes, we can get involved, make new friends, learn a new language, find a new hobby, find a new TV show, meet someone new. Yes, we can go after the job we actually want to have. Yes, we can do a lot of things like go on a road trip, spend more time with our mom or dad or parents, focus on having children, buy our first house, right? Buy a new car because you're tired of putting all your money into a car that maybe isn't acting the way you want it to. Maybe you can learn how to surf or ski or climb a mountain or a tree. Maybe you can get a yearly membership to a zoo. Or maybe you want to go back to church. Maybe you want to learn how to paint watercolor, or you want to do some sort of jewelry design or something within fashion and you've never done it before. Or maybe you want to become an author and you just need a push to get to that. The idea should be that if there's a possibility that you might be able to achieve something, you'll try to do it. So the idea and the wording should be to yourself and everyone else around you, yes, I can. Following the idea of yes, you can, because you can basically do anything, right, is the idea of never giving up. Thank you, John Cena. Never giving up is persevering through the difficulty, because how can you love yourself or anyone else when you're willing to cave with fear, anxiety, and doubt? There's always going to be people doubting you, telling you everything you can't be. There's always going to be a line of people telling you all the bad things about yourself, pointing out all your things that aren't good, right? There's going to be people that are on a hunt for you, that want you to fail, that hate you because you're succeeding and they didn't. There's a bunch of things happening. But the one thing that you have to do in the mix of all that is hold on and push forward. Life is not easy. It's not a rainbow in the sky with a pot. It's not that. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. Things are going to be said that maybe you didn't want to hear. Maybe you're at this point in your life where you thought you'd be somewhere else and it's not happening the way you want it to. Maybe you're struggling like a lot of other people in the world and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't know how you're going to get through next week, let alone next month. Maybe things are improving and they're getting better. Maybe something you never thought you'd have, you achieved. The idea is, don't ever give up on yourself. Hold through till you get to the other side, till you get back to the good side. And I'm telling you, you'll be more surprised than anything that that other side does exist. Outside of the never give up is the idea of why not today. Why are we putting off today for tomorrow? Why are we living our lives pretending like we can buy time, like we have a remote like Click with Adam Sandler? None of us have that remote, and if you have it, can I borrow it? We don't have that ability to stop time. I say it at the end of this mantra, right? The aliens can decide to come down to Earth and eat us for breakfast or lunch or whatever meal they want to consume us in. have we really accomplished everything we need to accomplish? Procrastinating and being indecisive and not being able to make up your mind is not a good look for anybody. You sort of have to just make decisions and go with it.
On his home turf, in a friendly venue, in their state, I'd say the odds are high that he may not be convicted because of all those connections. And, Abby Lowe's a good attorney.
I think that we have to get things done. We have to set up our doctor's appointments, leave work early. We have to go to the dentist. We have to plan out our weeks or our days, and we have to have some insight in our lives, right? If we don't take time and strategically plan and lay out things in a correct way, how can we survive? I think I'd go insane. I like knowing what's happening. I like planning things out. And if I can't do it, I feel like I'll go insane. That's the idea, right? That should be the idea. We need to get the dishwasher fixed. And if the dishwasher doesn't work, do you really want to wash stuff by hand? I love the dishwasher. I love trying out new scents or things that get the dishes clean even easier. I love the dishwasher, but I don't mind washing dishes by hand either. But it's just easier to use the dishwasher. So if the dishwasher isn't working, don't you think you should get it fixed? If you need to paint the walls in the living room and you can still see a line and you're still seeing things you don't like, how long are you going to wait till you repaint that wall? If the washing machine doesn't work correctly in the basement and you need to do laundry and you're waiting to get it fixed, how long are you going to be waiting to wear your clothes? If your car's not working correctly and you need to get to work, how long are you going to wait to bring it to a mechanic to get it looked at? These are the questions. Why will we wait for tomorrow for something that we can do today? If you don't organize your life correctly, your life isn't going to organize itself. Be ahead of the curve. Be 5 to 20 steps ahead. Know what's happening in advance. Today's Thursday, and I already picked out my outfits for the next 4 to 5 weeks for work, right? I did that tonight. It didn't take me a long time. It was pretty effortless. Now, could I be a person that goes into the closet in the morning and picks out an outfit every day? Probably. Do I want to do that? No. In the morning, I have a routine. I get up, I take a shower, I brush my teeth, I get ready for work. I really haven't had any coffee lately, but I'm going to start drinking that again because I desperately need it for energy. Then I get ready and we leave, or I leave, and then I go to work, and I'm ready and I'm proficient, and I start the day. Do I really want to be starting my day looking in my closet trying to figure out what I'm going to wear? I think that drives me crazy. I have been picking out my outfits in advance for so long at this point. I don't know how I could undo that to myself. Even if I go on a trip, even if I travel, even if I move somewhere new to a different place, I'm still going to pick out my outfits 3, 4, 5 weeks in advance. And I'm just going to live my life that way. Organization is the only way for me. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you can build on getting past procrastination and indecisiveness as well. And we can get to a better stage in our lives together because we are stars. Yes, we know who we are. Moving on from the mantra, thank you for tuning into that. Let's get to some of the headlines today. So today was a big day for men that have served in the army, but it was a bad day for Biden because he was lost when he was, welcoming these men that had fought and done some amazing things in history. 80 years. And he was an embarrassment. His wife had to guide him the way. And he's just an embarrassment. Not only is he an embarrassment in that predicament, right, of being in another country with his wife that has to manhandle him all around and everything. His wife is showing up at this Hunter Biden case every day And it's likely that nothing's going to happen here with that. This is just a distraction. And they're going to get back to pushing everything on Trump and making everybody think that Trump's the problem here. But honestly, the disinformation tactics, the denial, the green energy crap that they've done, the idea that Dr. Fauci's so great and he lied to all of us about COVID, all of these things that this Democratic Party has done, the idea that Joe Biden is an embarrassment to everybody, including people that aren't even from America or aren't even American. Nobody wants this dude on their party. I just gave you 5 to 10 examples of why he's horrible. I could probably give you 50 more, honestly. The dude had documents in his basement. He is having his son make shitty deals with China. He did things to write a book. He had a her interview, and he basically admitted a lot of things. He is using the Department of Justice to wrongfully attack Donald Trump because the only way he thinks he can beat Donald Trump is by lawfare, not by actually getting him on a debate stage and debating him like what you normally do in a democracy. But this isn't a democracy anymore. And I got some news for you, right? America is gone. It's not that it's going to leave or things are going to get worse. Things are really at the rock bottom of hell right now. There are millions of Americans that are American that are living paycheck to paycheck, and they don't know how they're going to get to next week. There was supposed to be an American dream for my generation and me and my husband and our family that doesn't exist. It's just not there. They're charging me for Social Security from my paycheck for some shit I'll probably never see, right? There's that. And my husband and my dad and my mom and my husband's and my husband's dad and everybody could tell me that Social Security is going to exist when we're old, but no part of me believes that. I think that the American dream is dead. I think that we have worked hard for nothing. I think that we're all on the opposite side of reality. And we've allowed these people on the TV and these politicians in Washington and wherever the hell it is and these shitty federal agencies to completely control our entire lives to the point where we don't recognize that we're not actually free, right? Americans voted in 2016 for Trump. And they likely were going to vote for him again in 2020 if they didn't make up a bunch of bullshit about COVID. That was all a bunch of bullshit for like months. Do you not remember how they attacked Donald Trump in that 2020 election? All the things that they were saying, all the actions that they delivered, all the insanity. Do you not remember it? I remember it. Remember when the Hunter Biden laptop came out and they all projected that that was Russian disinformation? No, it was a laptop. There was a bunch of stuff on it, and they lied about it to everybody, like they lie about everything, because that's who they are. But how many opportunities and chances are these people going to get? Now, it's 100% likely that nothing is going to happen to him in this case. And no part of me believes that anything is going to happen to me. But when you open Pandora's box and you attack Donald Trump the way that they have done, and when you use the Department of Justice against actual justice, and everybody with eyes can see it, how do you think this is going to go? That's the question, right? Not good, probably, I would think, and I would assume. But okay. How is the media out today saying that if Trump gets elected, people are scared and frightened of what's going to happen? Why would you be scared? Trump won in 2016 and he didn't go after Hillary Clinton like he honestly could have. But he didn't. I don't think you understand. And I had a very, very interesting conversation with Skip earlier. You know, we were talking about how we don't want to talk to Democrats and how irritating and annoying they are. And we started talking about family members that are Democrats, like some people that we know. And we brought up some of my family members that are unfortunately Democrats. And we brought up my mom, right? And that, how She is just not aware of anything political. And it's not just her. It's like an entire generation and population of people that are so disconnected from any sort of reality. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be disrespectful to my mom. I'm saying this because it's the truth. She's in a bubble. She is in a bubble. She looks at Apple News. She thinks that's reality. She has no idea about the stuff that's actually happening. The fact that we're about to go to a war with Russia, she doesn't know anything about that. The fact that Fauci lied about COVID, she is still hyping up masks. This is my mom, dude, my mom, right? And I love her. But she's clearly got some sort of derangement syndrome going on too. It's not her fault. It's the media projecting this crap on everyone. And it's not just her. It's, like I said, it's millions of others around the world that have this syndrome where they think they need to put a mask on, or they think they need to do this, or they think they need to do that. And it's insane. And honestly, the more we have to deal with this, the worse it is. I just don't know how we've gotten to this point where in normal everyday conversations, I have to face the fact that we are likely going into a war, and there are young people that are going to be drafted that are supposed to represent the United States of America, and they hate it. And Biden and Blinken, they're not talking about what's really happening with them announcing that they're going to give more things to Ukraine and they're going to piss off Russia more. They're not admitting what's going to be the consequence of this. And if you're listening to me right now, it is going to be horrible. I said earlier to my husband, we've lived a good life together. Because I don't know how long we're going to have. I know we want to pretend like a war isn't brutal and horrible and ugly, and this isn't like one of those movies we've seen where something goes wrong, but I have no faith in this government. The government doesn't care about me. And this is Republicans, this is Democrats, this is Green Party, this is Purple Party, this is Orange Party, Rainbow Party, and all the rest of them together. The government is out for one thing: power. And the more they get of that, the more they never want to give it up. There's a bunch of DEIs elected into political places and positions in Washington and any other state you could think of in America and all around the world, basically. These incompetent people that don't know up from down, left from right, green from orange, and how to spell very basic words or how to have very basic conversations. They're ignorant idiots. People that are like highly educated, but they're just dumb. There's a lot of those. We need to wake up. If we don't have each other's back, the government definitely doesn't have our backs. We have a lot of work to do here. Not only do we have to get Donald Trump elected as president, but we got to clean the goddamn swamp. Like, I like some of these Republicans that exist, but some of them got to go, man. Like, and we got to do a better job of knowing not to be working with the Democrats. And like Mike Johnson, like he got to be on the, we got to get ready to find someone to replace him. Because I'm just not sure how this is going to work with him in that position. And I know he's come out on Fox and he says he's doing all this, but I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is 100% correct about him. Just like I think Matt Gaetz was correct about the guy before him. I don't think that he is on the side of the people. And I'm not just solely talking about Republicans. And even though I am an official Republican voter and I side with Republicans, I don't side with Republicans on everything. And the only reason I became Republican instead of unaffiliated and undecided is because I wanted to be on the side of what I thought was sanity at that point. But I'm not going to change my voter registration again. I don't like everything that the Republican Party is saying. I disagree with a lot of it. I think that their reactions to things are slow. And I think we're in trouble. The reason that this message is going to be longer than normal is because we're about to go to war and no one's talking about it. Are there requirements anymore for these positions? I just told you that there's more DEI hires than anything. The lazy workers. There's people on videos at the border of the United States of America saying that they want to come into this country because they want jobs. You don't have a job where you're from. Why is that our problem? Why do we continue to pay for Ukraine and all these other crappy countries? Why aren't you paying us here? I mean, come on, man. It couldn't be more easier. It's really sad. It's sad. Everything has gone rogue. The Democratic Party, basically all of the House and the Senate, and all of them. Remember when Jamal Bowman put the fire alarm and pretended like he didn't do it? Yeah. Remember when AOC said a bunch of dumb crap and pretended she didn't do it? Yeah. We keep getting further from reality, and I'm just not sure there's any way back. America has fallen. The White House is down, and no one's coming to save us. And I listen to a lot of Fox News, and of course I watch Rumble, and I occasionally tune into Daily Wire. Primarily Michael and Matt Gaetz is very interesting, and sometimes even Ben Shapiro, right? And I definitely listen to Tucker Carlson and what's her name? Candace Owens. And I like all of them for different reasons. Dan Bongino, Dinesh D'Souza, Megyn Kelly. There's a bunch of others. Now, I listen to an array of people. Sometimes I even listen to some Democratic things just to hear what they're saying, just so I can see what they're saying. But America's gone. The East can have itself, and we pretend like not helping Israel is going to help America. They're our closest ally in that region, and we keep shitting on them. And what do you think the end result is going to be? It's not going to be good for America. Can we stop talking about Ukraine? No, of course not. Because Ukraine is something that we just have to focus all of our attention on. Instead of the actual country that you're supposed to represent, let's again think about a country outside of America. Because taking the time to make America great is just too damn difficult. Instead, we got to focus on every other place and every other person outside of this one. Because, making life great for Americans is not important. We just want them to pay taxes and overpay for everyday things. And we want to make their life completely miserable. And we take solace in knowing that they're paying for us to go to nice, expensive dinners, for us to have $170,000 Teslas and private jet planes, while they can get on a bus or walk. And they can live in apartments forever, because we're going to remove suburbia from them. So they'll never have the ability to have a house. They'll never have the ability to have anything. They'll never have the ability to live like we do. Because those people, they're the working class. They're Americans, and they don't matter. That is what the government says to us every day here. Yep, it is. So, let them talk about Ukraine. And in November, on November 5th of 2024, I'm afraid that America is going to send a message to Washington, D.C. And the message is going to come like this. This is our country, not yours. We're taking the United States of America back. It's time that this becomes the country of the people, not the country of the rich elite from Washington. That's it. Moving on from the politics, let's get to the main part of the conversation. Will banking go completely remote? Well, if you listen to anything I say about, the federal government, or Jerome Powell, or the dumb lady with the white hair, Janet Yellen, who I hate, it is coming. There is going to be a day where there won't be cash here. They're creating a system that is going to be horrible, basically. And I know that the idea that that's coming is scary. But unless we have a different body of government running things, it's inevitable. First of all, um, when we think about banking going remote, who actually goes to a bank, right? It's people that live in a city area, or they're going there for a specific reason. Do they need something, I don't know, notarized? Do they have a check that's a higher balance that they have to cash? That they have to deposit at the bank because it's so high. What reasons do you have to go to a bank? I think that banking unfortunately changed during COVID, and a lot of people recognize that they could basically do all the stuff that they did at the bank on their phone, right? And the biggest banks, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, the big banks, right? The top three, and even the Chinese banks, they have really great technology in their apps. So you literally don't have to go to a bank. You literally can do everything with your hands. You literally can go to like an ATM and like cash a check or something. Do you really need to go to a bank? Now, I'm not saying all banks should close, but I'm asking, will banking go completely remote? I'd say give it 10 to 20 years, and everything is going to be remote. Just like these jobs. Now, I made a prediction about jobs before COVID happened. I said a lot of things were going to start going remote. And look, I was right. Right? I made that prediction before COVID started. And you could just tell that things were changing in the working office. And COVID just was the nail in the coffin for that. So, unfortunately, I think banking is the next thing that's going to change too. I think it already has changed. I think we can't go back to before COVID and go back to banking that way. It's just non-existent. There's so many different options for online accounts. Like, if you don't want a big bank and you just want to do something remote, you could just get a Chime account, or you could do Capital One, and everything is online and there's not a bank. So everything is online. Like, I have a Capital One account. And basically your account is online, and everything you do, if you want to contact customer service, you call them on the phone. That's basically it. That's it. How does banking compete? Right? How do you compete when you have a big brick and mortar building and you have to pay all these rents and do all this stuff? Financially, unless you're a big body in the big scheme of it, and you're not one of those top banks, you're going to be negative. You're going to have negative equity. You're not going to be in a positive cash flow. It's going to be negative, right? Overall, it's not going to be good. If you want a good business, you have to provide the people with something that they want, right? Now, if you're in more of a city-like environment and there's a neighborhood and there's people going to a bank, I can understand that. But typically the people that are going into the bank, we're not talking about people that like work at a job and don't have time to go to a bank. We're talking about people that are doing things like changing up coins and cashing small amount of checks. I don't have time for that. For me, I don't think I would go to a bank. In fact, I don't know the last time I've been to a bank. It has definitely been a while. The only time I go to the bank is to go to the ATM to take out cash. If like I'm going to the casino. Now, I've talked about banks many times. I've talked about my experiences with them. I just think we're going in a different direction. I'm not saying that banks are going to close, but they're not going to keep as many branches open. They're fully aware of like how stuff is changing, and everybody wants everything at the palm of their hands, and they don't want to necessarily drive to a bank and have to deal with maybe some people that could potentially be DEI hires. I don't know, possibly. Whatever the case may be, and I say that, I think banking is going the opposite direction, just like corporate America. And I think at some point, everything will be online. And I just think we got to get ready for that. Moving on from that part of the conversation, going to the movies is fun. And we started doing it. The last movie we went to see was Mad Max, and we'll see what else comes out new. And maybe we'll go see that too. I don't really know what the newest movie is outside of Mad Max. Maybe I should venture into that and look. Let us look together on my device called the iPhone 15. Ha ha ha. I'm going to go to Fandango. So, Bad Boys Ride or Die is the newest movie. But I don't know how many people are going to see that, especially because I feel like Will Smith got canceled. And I think everybody knows it. The Watchers, that appears to be a horror movie. I think that just came out. There's going to be an Inside Out 2 and a Despicable Me 4, which I want to see because you know I like that. There looks like there's going to be a new Twisters movie that's coming to theaters soon. And that, so far, looks like the newest movies. Also, Quiet Place. There's a new Quiet Place. Whoa. I think this is the origins of Quiet Place. So I'm going to want to watch that. Deadpool and Wolverine. Very entertaining. I saw the preview for that. The Bike Riders. I've seen some commercials for that and some ads for it, but I don't know if it's anything I'd want to see. Anyways, that's what's at the movies right now. And I don't know. I think going to the movies is fun. And I haven't done it in a long time. And I was that person that was like, why would I go to the movies when I could watch everything at home? But now that we've gotten away from the whole COVID nightmare crap, I kind of like going to the movies. I kind of like getting the movie popcorn. I like sitting there and being entertained. And it's fun to me. So I will be going to the movies on a more frequent basis now. Is playing poker worth the risk? I think that you should only be betting money and playing at casinos if you understand the game. I don't think you should be willing to bet money if you don't understand it. And I think that that is risky. And you need to be very careful, especially with like horse races and things like that. Like gambling is really, really risky. How music continues to disappear. Unfortunately, the music industry has become a DEI cesspool of untalented idiots. There's people promoting their children to sing songs of profanity about people of certain races, and it's just a shame. I can't tell you one new upcoming musician. The only talent that I know is like Taylor Swift. Outside of her, I don't have an answer. And yes, instead of me not coming out and admitting it, I'll tell you I'm a Swiftie. I love all of Taylor Swift's songs. There's some albums where I'm like, why? Everything's gonna be alright if you get me next to you. You know about me, but I bet you want to. Everything's gonna be. Her songs are just good. They're timeless, and she has a way of making something that's great. Now, has Taylor Swift made the best decisions, and has she come out with her politics and said a bunch of weird stuff? Yes. But she's still done a fabulous job of taking over the music industry. And nobody can take that away from her. Outside of Taylor Swift, I can't tell you any other singers, right? I'm listening to 70s on my mix list, or the Man Radio, or the Man Show on Pandora. So I have no idea what music's out there because I'm blasting like music from the 70s, man. Like I listen to Nirvana, I listen to Journey, I listen to Kiss. I'm listening to stuff from the 70s because I don't like the music from today because one, I don't understand it, and two, it's like in a foreign language. I don't know. There's that. I just don't think the music is like actually music. Like if you listen to like Earth, Wind and Fire and like good music, and I'm not basing this on race or culture. I'm basing it on actual music, right? If you listen to Frank Sinatra, Benny Goodman, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, right? I just gave you a bunch of examples. Nat King Cole, Dean Martin. I can continue this. Elvis, okay? Elvis, right? These are musicians that won't ever go away. Even Michael Bublé, right? There's a bunch of others. Those types of music, that type of music, like American music, like jazz, right? That will always be unique and beautiful. But the rest of the music industry, it's just, I don't know, it's not stopping time. There's too many people that can't actually sing, so whatever talent does exist, it's not sticking, right? Now, I watched Carrie Underwood, or not Carrie Underwood, what's her name? I can't remember her name. I've watched some of the American Idol people, and I'm not sure what happened to that show, but I can tell you that the talent is gone. I can tell you that the idea that everybody wants to think they can be Justin Timberlake is insane. That's not how you find talent. And the difference between the 70s and today is those people could actually sing. They were actually talented. Do you understand how many people showed up for Kiss and Aerosmith concerts? A lot, okay? A lot. Even like it it's not the same thing. And I know we want to sit here and pretend like it is, but it isn't. I think music is going in a bad direction, and I don't think we can save it. I think it's just going to be a cancer to itself. But so I'm going to continue to listen to Kiss. I'm going to continue to listen to the bands from the 70s, and I'm going to continue to enjoy my life and not be bothered with whatever's on the radio now, because one, I don't listen to the radio. I only listen to Pandora. And two, I don't have any connection with any of the music from today because I don't even know what they're talking about anymore. So I just stopped listening. That's why I stopped listening to rap and why I stopped listening to hip hop, because it doesn't make any sense to me. So basically, I just listen to 70s music. And I'm chill with that. I guess you could listen to whatever music you want. I'll be listening to Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra. Come fly with me, let's fly away. That's what I listen to in the car. And some people stare at me when I'm driving because I'm singing Frank Sinatra. They probably don't know what I'm singing. But I really enjoy that type of music. So I'm just going to stick with the things that I know I like. And I want to give you that same advice. Don't think you have to change what you like listening to because of other people. Listen to what you like. Music is going to continue to disappear, and we're just going to watch it disappear until there's nothing left at all. Moving on from the main part of the conversation, let's get to the next part of the conversation, which is Star Watch Talk. Star Watch Talk, we watch together. Do we need Shudder? The answer is yes, because you need horror all the time. More horror, please. I mean, they're not doing a really good job of horror at the movie theater, so I think it's important that you have options of horror outside of the movie theater at your fingertips whenever you want it. We have all lived in this castle. A new Bad Boys is coming, and we talked about that earlier. Who's really going to go see that? Now, see, I liked Bad Boys, but after Will Smith did his blabber nabber and had to act like that, I got to tell you, I don't know how interested I'm in that movie. I still remember what he did, and it was a total turnoff. It just really irritated me. I don't like when people display behavior like that. It's not a reflection of who I am and what I like. So for me, I think I'm going to pass on it. But they seem to be trying to hype that up, but I don't think it's going to work. Fifth Element, is there a new one coming out? I don't know. That was a great movie. That came out a long time ago. There were a lot of great people in that movie. Another sci-fi flick that I wouldn't mind watching. Ruthless.